that eternal self-existent something is God in any way. And then I said before, you still haven't proven God. I say it again, and you say I'm not sure I'm supposed to do that. Again, I ask you, then why are you arguing? Why are you trying to? You said I think this proves by logic and science sufficiently that God is the only conclusion. Now, so here's what I just want to say to sum up this thing really quick. There's tons of objections to the fact that that something or that nothing comes from nothing. There's tons of objections to that. Not that it's been proven that that's not true, but that it's been proven that that can't be proven to be true. And so we can't say that is a fact like you are doing. You have special pleading for the case of God, and you can't. And during that special pleading, you give God these attributes to create the special pleading for you to make the argument work, and you're not able to do that as well because, as David Hume said, it's impossible to do that with a priori reasoning alone. It is also impossible to prove that your ex nihilo, or that your from nothing comes nothing argument. You can't prove that by deductive reasoning alone either, and so those are up in the air. Those are assumptions, and what I want to get to is back to this quote at the end where you said, I think this proves by logic those things which I have shown right now and before obviously are not proven by logic and science sufficiently that God is the only conclusion. And I would submit to you that it proves absolutely nothing. And here's what I'll do. I'll grant you all of it. I'll say from something, or from nothing comes nothing. It's 100% fact, no assumption. I'll grant you that. I'll grant you a finite number of causal a chain of events. I'll back to a first cause. Okay, I'll grant everything that you said in your argument that about how because of this idea that something can't come from nothing, that it proves a first cause, and I'll even grant you that that first cause is God, although it could be something completely other than God. I'll even grant you that. Okay, I'll even grant you further that cause is not three gods or paganistic gods or any other kind of god. I'll grant that it's one God, personal creator, designer, in the way that you are arguing, one being that created this. In other words, I'll grant you deism. Okay, I'll grant you that the cosmological argument, for now, just granting, proves your deism. Okay, so if it did, it would do nothing to prove theology. It would do nothing to prove that you know which God it is. It would do nothing to prove that you know what that God requires of you. It would still do nothing to prove anything about the actual attributes of that God. Which, again, if you actually think about David Hume's argument, I can't really grant you the deistic approach either, because there's no way you could ever define the attributes of God. But even if I say you can have those attributes, you still can't say anything else about God. That you're right about what he wants for us, that you know what religion he prescribes, anything. So these arguments for God, and let's not forget, I know you want to leave it out, but let's not forget that they're all there to try to support Christianity. This stuff doesn't happen in Japan, and it doesn't happen in other countries. It only happens here because we're not only here, but mostly here because we are a Christian nation. And so these people like William Lane Craig are out there arguing this to support their doctrines and their beliefs. And how they get from deism to theism, I don't know. And so even with all the holes where you haven't proven anything, even if I grant all of them to you, it still doesn't prove anything. It still doesn't prove anything about God or that you know anything about him. And then you say, whatever you want to put your flag on and say, that's it. That's what did it. To me, sounds like God. And this will be the last thing I'll end with. I think that quote speaks volumes about how you proceed in coming up with your conclusions. You say, anything we give you, any alternative explanation that we give you that solves these logical problems, where we say the universe is actually infinite, then you say, well, that's God. That's why you're arguing this. It's not because this argument is actually sound. I've shown this over and over and over. I can do it again, and I feel like I haven't covered it well, but I'm at 42 minutes, so I gotta stop. But But the special pleading and the assumptions of all these things that you haven't proven to be true, the assumption of a finite universe and finite causal chain of events, all those things, none of that is set in stone. None of it ends the argument, like you say. And but no matter what the response is to that, no matter what we give as an alternative to that, whatever science shows as an alternative to that, you will always still claim that that's God. And that's what people have been doing. That's why religion has been going through an evolution since its beginning, where it used to claim the Son was God and everybody believed it, but now they don't. And people have pushed God as far back as they can go because science has pushed God there. And you just keep, and now God is in a position where he's unfalsifiable. Go look up Karl Popper. An argument's strength is not whether it is unfalsifiable, it's whether it is falsifiable. And so the fact that you've created this God that's completely unfalsifiable does nothing to credit his supposed existence. So anyway, all of this stuff, and if you want more information, look at the other videos I've put up, and I wrote a little bit about this on my blog. Check it out. You have proven nothing.